What's going on, everybody? Joshua Cook, VYPE Media Managing Editor, now joined by Chapel Hill Athletic Director, Head Football Coach Jeff Riordan, and Splendora Athletic Director and Head Football Coach Marcus Schulz, and also former teammates from college, Austin College teammates as well. And guess what? They both needed a Week 1 game, so they called each other up and said, hey, by the way, can we play the Schulz-Riordan Bowl? And my question is, who called who first with this idea?
Go ahead.
Man, I think it was kind of we were going back and forth, and actually I think the two brothers, I think Matt and Jeff were kind of texting back and forth, and then we got on a group text, and then I think I ended up giving him a shout, and you know, out of desperation for me, we want to travel to Chapel Hill and take on those dogs, but you know, we're going to get after it, and we're going to see.
Yeah, Marcus was, you know, trying to persuade me into coming to Splendora, was going to buy me meals and let us stay at the house and, you know, give us a 14-point lead to start the game. But, you know, he ended up deciding that he'd rather just come here and see me in Splendora, and his family was going to come up and stay the night at my house and not have to drive back or something, you know. So, no, it's going to be fun. It's exciting. You know, when that announcement came out, you know, everybody started scrambling, and I seemed like I could find a 2 and a 3, and my only options for 1 were options I didn't want for sure. You know, just you know, and then Marcus called me up, and we just started talking, and it's gonna be neat. It'll be fun. You know, Marcus is like my brother, and then my real blood brother is up there being, you know, is his OC and quarterback coach. So it'll definitely have some family ties for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, the backstory, you know, I kind of mentioned a little bit. You know, you both played at Austin College. That's where y'all met. There's an age difference, so y'all weren't there at the same. Y'all were there at the same time, but I know one of y'all graduated before the other one, and then kind of your coaching paths took the same route. And eventually, you know, Jeff, you got the job at Crosby, and you called Marcus up and said, hey, you know, you be my assistant coach at DC. It didn't work out at that time. Next year, Marcus gets the head job at Splendora, and I think we had always kind of joked about y'all playing each other, but it just never came to fruition. I think there were some 7-on-7 games. But for you, Jeff, when you kind of saw the opportunity to actually play him and, you know, kind of have this game happen, were you excited about it and just the opportunity to play him and his team?
Yeah, no doubt. You know, Marcus runs a great program, does a great job. You know, we were in the same district for 2 years. Splendora was in that district with Crosby and Dayton. And, you know, his kids just play unbelievably hard, relentless effort. You know, they gave us so many different looks, and you know, the scheme that he's going to bring and the game plan that he's going to bring is going to definitely test us early. You know, and I'm the kind of guy that, you know, when I was at Crosby, we're playing West Orange, Manville, New Caney. Pre-district is the time to schedule those opponents to see where you're at, kind of exploit your weaknesses, so you have something to go into the film room and go through the pre-district. You know, you don't want to find those weaknesses during district. You want to find them early, and I think the type of team that Splendora is going to bring to Chapel Hill that first week is going to be a team that's going to exploit some of our weaknesses, going to play us hard every snap and get after our tail. And you know, I like to see my kids against that level of effort on the other side of the ball.
And for the same question for you, Marcus, traveling up there and playing Chapel Hill to open the season.
Yeah, you know, I think I reiterate a lot of the same things that Jeff said, but, you know, we actually played each other in high school too, and those Sanger Indians got on top of those Bridgeport Bulls, by the way. But the
don't ask him. You know, don't ask him my stat line, Josh.
I think that's skewed. Like that fisherman tells that fishing story. Those fish get bigger every year. No, but you know, we're excited. You know, it's something that, you know, we're going to face each other, hopefully, or have an opportunity to face each other in the playoffs and possibly even in the first round. So it's one of those deals where, you know, you want to see that level of competition early on. And like Jeff said, you know, the program he runs and the places that he's been, the success he's had at those programs, you know, we know as a staff and of course, you know, with having Matt on my staff now and knowing where he came from, you know, and the level of coaching and what he's got, you know, I know what we're going to get when we go into Chapel Hill. And, I think that that's going to prepare us for, the rest of the season and also rolling into our district play as well.
What has it been like, when the UIL announcement came down, I don't know if any coach or anybody really anticipated it to be the split decision that they did, where 1A through 4A, you start on time, and 5A and 6A is going to be delayed by a month. For you, Jeff, what has the last, 48 hours been like, kind of scrambling and reorganizing and getting ready for a season that's going to start on time?
It's been difficult for us to just navigate through this time, and the 3 months off, coming back after spring break, not having spring ball, not getting to finish our track seasons and our off seasons, just a bunch of uncertainty, going through the summer, taking a week off, UIL shutting everybody down for a week. It's just been a process, and it's taken a toll on our kids. I know me and Marcus talk all the time. We've talked about the playoff potential for a while now, ever since realignment. Hey, man, we may be playing first round. Just that friendly banter that we have back and forth. Just the uncertainty with the kids and getting that update. We're out here working out that morning, and one of my coaches hollered at me and said, "Coach Riordan, did you see the update?" And everybody was trying to get on the UIL website, and I couldn't get on it, so I couldn't read it. So my receiver coach, Coach Johnson, had to send me the shot of it, and it was basically just ecstatic, just relief. I think I heard a bunch of different things, talking to Carl Padilla, the Godfather. He had some insight and was telling me he thought this, thought that, and one of the things he said was that possibility of what happened. That was one of the scenarios. I guess if he guesses enough of them, he'll get it right. But that scenario was one of them where the smaller schools, if you can play, you play. If you can't play, you don't wait on somebody that can't play, type mentality. But, UIL, Dr. Elza, Polk, those guys, they did a great job, I think, of making a plan that was beneficial for everybody. I think they were looking out for what's best for kids. I think it's the safest plan. It's just like me and Marcus had to do. We talked about, we had to deal with when Harvey hit. Just because Harvey hit the Houston area and shut down a lot of the Houston area programs, it didn't shut the rest of the state down. The rest of the state played on, and we had to scramble then when we got to play, and people on our schedule, maybe Houston ISD school or Southeast Texas further near the coast, was shut down. We had to scramble and schedule some games. That year we ended up playing LCM and Jasper that went on our schedule. It was very similar to that, where we're just kind of, when we got that announcement and knew 5A couldn't play, my first 3 games were 5A schools. I was playing Greenville, White House, and Hallsville, so I had to find 3 games, and it ended up working out. It took about an hour, maybe 2 hours to get all that solidified, but just knowing that my kids and my seniors are going to get to play a complete season, football, volleyball, cross country, that was my biggest concern, because these kids have been putting in so much work this summer. During quarantine, they were putting in a lot of work, and for them not to be able to have their season was going to be discouraging for sure.
And, for Marcus, I know, that was kind of the same situation. You had 5A school schedule, you had a Houston ISD, you had a private school, kind of, it's one of those things, everyone's kind of doing their own thing. And then the news hits that, hey, you can start August 27th, and you're, eyeing it down where you have to fill some games. It's almost like if no one's seen that alignment when the coaches are walking around holding up a 2 and a 3 and a 4. This was like the virtual way of doing it, where everyone was texting each other. Yeah. I guess same thing for you, excitement, elation with the coaches, and then right into getting to work to put the games together for the kids to play.
Beat those Bulldogs.
Hey, Jonah's already talking about burning that Splendora stuff you've seen for Christmas.
He went upstairs. We're just like you said, we're ecstatic and excited, and more so for the kids and our senior players, those kids that lost, their spring season last year, and now, with the possibility of losing some of football season and possibly volleyball and those things, I think we're ecstatic, and I know, Jeff and his staff the same way, just for those seniors coming up and all of our athletes, that we're going to get back on the field and not really have to miss any games. But, filling those games was tough. We had two 5A schools at the beginning of our schedule, and then we also have a private school, and that private school is still a possibility where we may have to fill that. They're not TAPS, and I don't even know what conference they're in, but he said their conference hasn't decided on their actual playing schedule or what they're going to be allowed to do. So it was Spring Legacy. So we're still waiting on that, but filling those games was nerve-wracking. We also had to fill a scrimmage. So it was a scrimmage, and then basically 0 week in week one were the games that we had to fill. And definitely upgraded and got some teams, in my opinion, that are going to test us a little bit more early on. We had some good teams before. So, I think Needville in our scrimmage is gonna give us everything we want. And then, of course, Chapel Hill. And then we also have Bernie on our schedule now. So.
All right, so we've talked about all the feelings of getting the schedules and stuff. Now let's get down to the nitty gritty of a little good feeling trash talk between these two friends and families, because I know y'all's families are really close. There's no doubt about it. I mean, your wives, Jeff, your wife Mandy, and Marcus, your wife Lucy, both are tight. The families are tight. Are they planning on sitting near each other during this game, or are we gonna have to put like one family on one side of the stadium and one on the other side? And I know one's gonna be wearing Splendora red, one's gonna be wearing Chapel Hill blue and yellow. I mean, this is gonna be fun for the families, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've always been very supportive of each other. Marcus made his run that last year. I was in Crosby, and we missed the playoffs that year. That last year there. We're following his team. I mean, Mandy and Lucy are sitting in the stands together. Me and Jonah and Cal are on the sideline, watching the game from the sideline. We've always just been, very proud of each other when we have successes. Just being college teammates and best friends and pretty much brothers for the last, I don't know how many years. But, when we play each other, it's like any other brotherly competition. We're both trying to win. We're both competitors. Every day we went one-on-one in practice in college. We're trying to get the best of each other. Every once in a while Marcus would tackle me from behind and try to beat me up. But, afterwards we're friends walking back to the cafeteria to the dorm room. But, it's one of those deals where, you're excited for the success of your brother. But when you play each other, I'm the only one that can talk bad about Marcus. I'm the only one that can beat him. Anybody else talks bad or beats him, then they got to come see me. So it's one of those relationships, and always has been, always will be.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely going to be that rivalry and animosity on that week leading up to it, and I'm sure I don't think our wives will talk much trash to each other. But I think that there'll be some text messages going back and forth, and I'm sure at one time or another, I don't know if they'll sit the whole time next to each other, but I think, halftime or whatever, I'm sure that they're going to link up, and definitely afterwards, after we beat them, they're going to, he may not let us in his house, but no, we do. We're very close, very tight. And, it's that brotherhood and that love that we have for each other, family trips and those types of things that we get to go out and do. And, sharing a lot of the same similarities and passions. It's fun, but there's going to be some trash talk, I'm sure, leading up. And
there'll be a friendly wager. There's going to be some trash talking and a friendly wager. There may be a bench off or a wrestling match at halftime too. We'll see how it goes.
I'm just saying. Whatever. I mean, if the bands are a little limited on what they can do, maybe the halftime entertainment is going to be a little different for the opening game of the year.
Hey, we can make it fun, I promise you. But I'll tell you this: it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a game that the competition hat comes on game day, and at 7:00 when the ball's kicked off. And I'll go back to a game we had over in Crosby. And there was a questionable hit on one of Jeff's receivers over the middle, and he comes out to almost the numbers yelling at me, "All right, Schulz, I see how that's going to be. This is how it's going to be." And that's so there's definitely that sense of pride and that energy that's going to come along, and there'll be some yelling back and forth, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's got my baby brother over there too that's never beat me at anything, so it's going to be a real tight. His butthole's gonna be tight that first kickoff, first series of the game. So I'm gonna tell my defensive coordinator to give him about 18 different looks and see what he can do. No, Matt's done a great job, and Schulz making see did a really good job there. He's going to do a great job. Very smart, intelligent young guy in the profession that's going to eventually be where me and Marcus are one day, and it's just exciting. It's exciting that they're getting to come up here and have the game and all, but it's going to be exciting to see those two guys on the sideline trying to beat Big Brother again.
Yeah, I'm about to say, are you and Matt not going to be able to really talk in that game that week leading up because you're going to be texting him asking, hey, what are you going to run against my defense this week on Friday?
No, he'll be all right. He'll be mad at me, but he's used to taking L's from me just like Marcus. It ain't softball, brother. It ain't softball.
Yeah, we got you there. Just be ready. Have that wing tee stuff polished up because you never know what Splendora is going to come out in that week one.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about no wing tee, so you better start coaching offense.
This is exactly.
I didn't teach him no wing tee. I didn't teach him all my secrets.
I will be that short pistol like PG. We'll come out something similar.
Yeah. I already told my offensive staff. I said when we played Schulz at Crosby 1 year over at his place, his whole defense didn't even get in a position. They were just standing up and snap the ball. Them dudes just went everywhere. So we better be ready for it.
That's right.
So.
This is exactly why I wanted to get you two together on a Zoom because this is what Texas high school football needs right now. It needed a game like this. It needs an opening game like this. Like I'm hyped up. I'm not gonna lie. I looked in the map last night. I said, okay, how far is it from Kingwood to Chapel Hill? How far of a drive is this? And can I make it for a Friday night game and make it back at a decent time?
You can probably get on the bus with Marcus and them.
Come on, man.
Way up there and get you a free ride. Just stop off in Splendora and jump on the bus.
Absolutely.
Oh man, just for both of you, finally before I let you go, it's just got to be exciting that we have dates. It seems like the cases are starting to go in the right direction here in the state of Texas. It seems like we're starting. I know, to be clear to everybody, health and safety of kids is number one. At the end of the day, these are games and these are, we want to play them and stuff, but the health and safety of the kids and the coaches are number one. But for y'all, it's got to be exciting just to know that, hey, we've got an idea of who we're going to play, when we're going to play, and I'm sure it's going to get the kids fired up to play.
Yeah. And I think, just with, Marcus and, being able to, we're kind of the guinea pig and the testament that this is possible. I mean, we've had 6 weeks of summer workouts and, I'm out there taking every kid's temperature and checking symptoms and, communicating with them about, you have any of these symptoms, your stomach hurt, whatever it is, have you been around anybody with COVID, just us in that structured environment and us navigating the guidelines that UIL set out there for us. We've proved that it can be done, and I think allowing the kids to participate in UIL athletics and have a season is going to be the safer method as opposed to if the seasons got canceled, there's some organization, in my opinion, that would probably start some kind of football, and all these kids would go play in that organization. It probably wouldn't be monitored like Texas high school coaches are going to do it, and like the guidelines that school districts and UIL and all that has provided for us. And like Marcus has a great superintendent there in Splendora. I have a great superintendent here in Chapel Hill that is he's about our kids getting to be normal, about our kids, getting to have their seasons and, whatever UIL was going to allow us to do, he was in full support and was going to make sure Chapel Hill was on board with the ability to get out and do what we can. So, kudos to both our school districts, kudos to UIL for making the plan. And, we're going to follow it to the best of our ability and keep kids safe.
I guess the same for you, Marcus, on your side of things.
Yeah, that's it. There's not a whole lot more I can say. We've been tested all through this summer workouts, and and we've had to do all the precautions and follow the rules and regulations. So most of our kids and our athletes are already used to, the things that we've got to do and making sure that we're social distancing and adhering to those rules and regulations that UIL's put in place for us. And, I don't think it's going to be, like Jeff said, I think we're going to be the guinea pig. I don't even want to say guinea pig, just the first group that gets to go out and show everybody that this is possible. And, Dr. Brideup and Dr. Elza, UIL, definitely had their hands full in putting all this together. And those guys, are giving us the opportunity to make sure, and we don't want to mess it up. So, we're going to, as coaches, make sure that we do everything that we're supposed to do to adhere to those rules and regulations and keep our kids, on the football field, on the volleyball courts, those types of things, out of harm's way as much as we can. And, it's just exciting. I'm ecstatic. I've got a senior daughter who's a volleyball player, and I don't know what I would have done. I think it would have been worse for me as a dad, not having her being able to participate in volleyball her senior season. So, I'm blessed and excited that we're given this opportunity, and myself as well as our staff, and I know Coach Riordan and his staff and kiddos are excited, and it's going to be fun, and this game is going to be one way to kick off the season for sure.
And whoever gets the W gets bragging rights at Thanksgiving, right?
Oh,
and probably Christmas.
Absolutely.
No doubt they'll have bragging rights for a little while. I had a little bit of bragging rights until we played that softball game, man. I can't say much anymore, so I need a win. I couldn't carry my team, though.
I won't go there. It was ugly.
That was fun, though. We always trying to find ways to compete. We just always been those type of guys. We love competing, and we won a bunch of games together. And anytime we can, go against each other and whatever it is, it's been fun.
All right, well,
Josh, you need to make a trip.
I know. I'm ready. I'm looking at the schedule. I'm seeing. I got that circle. I got that circled on the first week. It's like
the loser's going to buy Loopies, right?
Deal. I don't know if there's Loopy tortilla up there, but we'll definitely find when you have to come back to Houston.
No doubt.
we got that on video too. We got that recorded. Yeah. It's a virtual handshake at that point.
Yeah,
I think it's my time to buy anyways. I think he bought last time we went out to eat. So.
All right. Well, he is Jeff Riordan. He is the head coach and athletic director at Chapel Hill. He is Marcus Schulz. He is the athletic director and head football coach at Splendora. They will face off in the opening week of the Texas high school football season on a Friday night, and it's going to be exciting. And I think I might have to just make the trip up there for this one, and just for the post game interaction to see what that's like.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Appreciate you having us on, Josh.
Thank you, Josh. It was good talking to you, man. Miss you guys.